Hey guys, it's me Trevis, the founder and CEO of PlayerProps.ai. I want to start off by saying if you've already gotten access to the open beta, and if you are one of the handful of people who see it and just potentially get completely overwhelmed, do not worry. PlayerProps.ai exists to make even the most novice of sports bettors, the day one people, the people that are just now getting into sports betting, all the way to the people that have been betting for a living for a while. This is catered to all of you. So if at any point while looking at this beta and playing around with it and being part of our community Discord and seeing what everybody else is playing using it, at any point you get overwhelmed, don't worry. This video is going to exist forever, so you can simply go back to it if you're struggling to remember how to use it. We are here to help you be a more profitable bettor. The entire point of PlayerProps.ai is increasing your education and your betting literacy to make sure that you know exactly what you're doing on these sports books and strategies as well to know how to lose less often. So, if you're overwhelmed by this video, or like I said, if you've already had experience to the open beta, do not worry. We are here to help. That being said, the open beta is live. You probably already have access to it if you're watching this video, but if not, go ahead and get access to it. PlayerProps.ai, simply sign up for an account, and from now all the way till March 28th, the open beta is going to be live, and that means it's completely complimentary, no cost of any kind to you. All we ask in return is your feedback. There's something, if you look at the profile page, which we'll show you in a second, it says provide feedback. You click on that and you give us any kind of notes. It could be, this is amazing, or these are things I like and don't like. If there's any potential glitches or bugs during this testing phase for the next month, please let us know. Take screenshots, record video, screen recording, and send it to the provide feedback as well. So let's get to it. If you are confused at any point, just rewind the video and start over again. This is how to use PlayerProps.ai for the features we have currently built for it. Now, I mentioned that because there's a ton of stuff going to be going into this app over time as we continue to grow after we officially launch. But for right now, we're going to focus on the features in the app for the open beta. Now, I mentioned before that it's going to be free and part of the testing beta phase from now till March 28th. There's a particular reason for that. If you don't have it marked in your calendars already, March 28th is MLB opening day. So that is when the official launch is for PlayerProps.ai, and of course MLB will be launching inside of the app along with the season. But without further ado, let's go through the few features of PlayerProps.ai. First off, the flagship tool is called the Predictor. This is typically designed for people who are betting on traditional sportsbooks, FanDuel Sportsbook, DraftKings Sportsbook, any of those. We have other tools for different kind of things, but right now we're just focusing on this main tool. So as you can see, there's some data on there. Let's go through what all of the data is so you know how to better use this tool to enhance your chances of losing less often. At the top, you see we've selected NBA. You can choose NBA, college basketball, or NHL. Those are the three that are going to be available during the open beta. Again, when we launch on March 28th, MLB opening day, you're going to see MLB in this option as well. We have currently FanDuel and DraftKings. Over time, we're going to be adding all of the sports books. We just have to work on building all of them in. So if you are someone who prefers FanDuel, then of course choose FanDuel. If you prefer DraftKings Sportsbook or any of the other ones we add, you just choose which sportsbook that you use the most. But it doesn't necessarily really matter as much as long as the lines aren't too different. But use FanDuel if you're using FanDuel. Now, okay, we're looking at NBA. What stat do we want to look at? Rebounds, assists, points. For this video, we're just going to focus on points here. You can search a player name if you want to here. Self-explanatory, search players. And this is how you want to sort the information. So by default, it's sorted by difference. Difference is a future calculator with AI projections and all that other stuff in there. And then these, of course, are past data. So you can sort by past. But if you want to sort by what the AI is saying, the futuristic stuff, what we believe is going to happen in the future, what the models believe is going to happen in the future, you want to make sure it's sorted by difference. But if you want to focus on what the player's recently done, you can use last 5 games, last 10 games, the current season, or head-to-head, which of course is that specific player versus that team, versus that same opponent. But right now, let's focus on difference. Now we see OU here. This, of course, is under an over. So if you do over, which is what the O is, this purple circle means it's highlighting the O, so that's what's being selected, and it's sorted by difference. What these two things are telling you is that, so let's go into explaining what difference is. It might make things easier. here's the AI prediction. Whoop, clicked on it a little too soon. All right, so here's the AI prediction. This is what our models are saying is going to happen. This is how many points Cody Martin is going to be scoring today based on the AI models. There's a ton of data points being fed into it. This is the line for Cody Martin's points on FanDuel Sportsbook. We know that because those two are highlighted. So what is difference? We simply are taking the AI prediction and comparing it to what FanDuel is saying, and then the difference, the percentage difference between the two, that's what's shown here. So you want to get the most difference. You want to get the highest projection. If you're targeting an overplay, you want to get the highest projection to available line. And if you're targeting an underplay, you want to get the lowest prediction to an available line. But we know we're targeting over because the O is highlighted. Remember, if you want to target under, just click on the U here, and it will rank all of these. It will sort all of them by the person who has the lowest prediction compared to their line using a percentage difference calculator. So again, difference is comparing the projection, what the AI is saying, to what FanDuel's offering you. If the O is selected, it'll be sorting by the greatest percentage difference. So this is always going to be over this number. If you see a plus sign here, and if you have this O highlighted. But again, there's a lot of people out there just like targeting unders, because with unders, you're winning until you're not winning. Some people like just focusing on unders. If you want to do that, you can do that as well. So now let's talk about the other things that you see on the screen here. You can choose games. So if you only care about players, like if you want to do a single game parlay, and you only care players on Charlotte and the Philly game, you can click on that, and it will only show you here Charlotte or Philly players. You click back on all, and it shows you all of the players available. Now, what does this one mean over here? This over 100, because the projection is higher than the line, which we of course know here as well. This is what the odds are on FanDuel Sportsbook this given second if you go over 7.5. It's plus 100. If it was minus, you would see the minus thing right here, but it's plus 100 if you go over 7.5. So just letting you know, so you don't have to go back and forth and check the sportsbook what the odds are. And then implied is just a simple calculation using the odds, which is everything with odds is math. There's all formulas on how the sportsbooks come up with the odds. They don't just guess. All odds are a probability chance of an event occurring. So if the sportsbook thinks that this person scoring this many points has a 55% chance of hitting, then they're going to post the odds that is equal to 55%. So that's what odds are if you haven't watched our odds video. But yeah, the implied is simply taking the math from what the available odds are and the line, and then putting it right here. Now, these down here, you see the red rectangles. That is this player's performance and their scoring points against this line. So L5 20%. What does that tell us? In this player's last 5 games, they have scored at least 7.5 points. 20%, which, simple math, 20% is 1 out of the last 5. So in one in the last 5 games Cody Martin has played, he scored at least 7.5 points. In the last 10 games, he scored at least 7.5 points in 30%. During the course of the season, 30%, and against Philly, 0%. He has no games hitting 7.5 for that. But again, the projections are still, the AI model is still saying, based on all hundreds of data points covering all aspects of basketball, that this player is going to go over 7.5, even though his previous history does not back that up. When you're going through this, this is just kind of a strategy point using this, you kind of want to focus on the plays where the AI and the past data all go together. So let's just go through real quick. So these are all overplays, we know that, but does anybody have a lot of green? So even though PJ Washington's difference is only plus 17, because 12.32 isn't that much different than 10.5, he has 60% last 5, hit this 60% last 10, and 65% of the season. And then he's just kind of been a coin flip, head-to-head, he's hit it half the time. So go through these things. De'Aaron Fox, look, 100% last 5, 60% last 10, 63 on the season, and 100% of the games versus the Timberwolves. So if I'm choosing between these two that are both at 17%, I'm probably going to be leaning more towards De'Aaron Fox, who has much higher past hit rates. So yeah, just you want to kind of look for the combo. Does that mean you can't play Cody Martin over 7.5 points because his past history is trash? No, you can use a bunch of different things. But let's go down to that that all green one. What was that, Fox? So let's click on Fox. If you click on this one, you're going to get the same data here, but in a graph display. So that's what we're seeing right here on the screen. Okay, we're seeing that you know, the default's last 10, which you see right here. So you click on last 5, you see the 5 games, last 20, you can see that. So let's just focus on the last 10. So we know already, before we clicked on Fox, that he's covered his line, which was at 24.5 points, 60% of the time, which is 6 out of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is, and then if you highlight over it as well, this is going to be on mobile, so just tap on the bar. It'll actually tell you the exact amount of points that he scored as well. You see that 33, that 27, that's how many points he scored. And then these, 19, 12, 15, 15. Then you can play around with this. This alt line down here will change the data up here. So right now his line is 24.5. We know that, that's the FanDuel line because that's what it says up here. FanDuel line right now for points for De'Aaron Fox, 24.5. We go down here, let's say you want something that has a little better of a payout. So we're going to change his alt line to maybe 27.5. In the last 10 games, he's hit 27.5 half the time, 80% last 5, 45% last 20. So if the people that are doing the alt lines, you can change as much as you want, and the data, his hit rate data will change here as well. I mean, if we go all the way down to something ridiculous, like 11.5, which is probably going to be like a minus 5,000 payout. He's hit it 100% of everything because, of course, he's De'Aaron Fox. The last thing on the screen you want to pay attention to is this vote thing here. This is only going to be around for version 1.0 as we're building something much, much cooler than this. But for version 1.0, if you're looking at De'Aaron Fox and you're like, man, all this stuff is pretty sexy, I'm pretty sure I'm going to bet him going over 24.5 points on FanDuel Sportsbook. So if you do that, just tap on over or tap in under. If you are already looking at this and you get to this point, just do us a favor and tap which direction you're going. Because what that does is it's going to add all of the votes from everybody that voted on it. So let's say we have 100,000 people that are on this open beta with you as well, playing around with PlayerProps.ai, and maybe you're on the fence. Maybe there's a play where some of it's red, and like you said, the other prop we were looking at earlier. Let's say 1,000 people vote on De'Aaron Fox, and you're on the fence, but you're like, I think I'm gonna go over. But then you see that 70 or 80% or something crazy, they're going on the under. Well, that might stray you away from going over. So this is kind of a community feedback. What is the community doing? So I know what I want to do because I already looked at all the data. I looked at the projections, I looked at the difference, looked at the odds, I looked at the past data here. I know what I want to do, so I'm going to click over. Oh, it looks like potentially that the entire community, which we're going to be having hundreds of thousands of people on this relatively soon, they're doing a different direction. So maybe there was something that I didn't notice. And so that is going to help sway your decision if you're someone who likes tailing the majority, the public betting. That in a nutshell is the first tool. The second tool is not going to take that much time because it's fairly simple and it's a lot easier to explain. The optimizer. This tool is specifically for player prop apps or pick'em apps like Prize Picks and everything, which is what we have built in here, which is why you see Prize Picks up top. Okay, so this is going to be pretty simple, so bear with me. If you play on Prize Picks, if you're in a state that doesn't allow betting, or maybe you're in a state that does allow betting, but it also allows Prize Picks and you play on Prize Picks, the most important part about building a great play is knowing what FanDuel's doing with that prop at that exact line. I'll help you make that make sense here in a second. So Anthony Edwards, right now on Prize Picks, you can go over under 29.5 points. But remember, Prize Picks doesn't have any odds. They let you do over under 29.5, but they don't give you any kind of odds. And so it doesn't matter which direction you choose. It'll be part of the same multiplier as you build your parlay. Under minus 135. So this is the top because this tool, all it does is simply takes FanDuel's odds at Prize Picks exact line and just shows you which side is the heaviest or which side is the more juice. And if you're new to betting, it's simply the biggest number next to the minus. So if you were to bet under 29.5 on FanDuel Sportsbook, you would be betting on minus 135 odds. The greater the number next to minus, the higher the percentage chance the books believe this is going to hit. And so this sorts automatically, and you don't really change the sort because that's the entire purpose of this tool, sorts automatically by minus 135 because that's higher than anything else. And so it doesn't matter over or under, it just chooses the heaviest juice or the highest probability that FanDuel assigned to this prop. So if you're building something and you're on the fence, what do you want to add to your second or third or fifth or sixth pick or whatever on Price Picks or any of the other prop apps that don't have odds, definitely use this tool. Because if you go over Anthony Edwards, I don't even know what his odds would be, but let's just say it's like plus 200. Do you really want to go over something where the books are saying he has a very low chance of hitting that number? Or do you want to automatically know what is FanDuel saying is going to happen? So that's kind of the gist of this tool. What do the sportsbooks say is going to happen to help you make your decision? Anthony Edwards has a 57.45% chance of going under this line. That's what the implied is. I told you before, this is just basic math. So we take this, what percentage chance is this using the probability formula? That's just basic math. We already built that for you. So you all, okay, what does minus 135 mean? It means he has a 57.45% chance of going under 29.5 points. That's what it means. Again, you can vote as well if you're on Prize Picks and you're like, I'm definitely going to go under because he's the highest juiced play of everything on Prize Picks, but this is just for points. It changes when you change the stat. So you click under, and of course, like I said before, it'll calculate all the people that have voted over or under and show you what the consensus is. Price Picks does allow demons and goblins. They're one of the many pick'em apps that allow you to change the line. So if you are looking at a different option, you do the same thing here as you did before. You change the line and it changes the data and it changes his hit rate. So that is the gist of Optimizer. It took a lot less to explain that one. The Optimizer is just specifically for the prop apps or the pick'em apps that do not have odds. Sports Quack is our title sponsor. So if you already got this far and you live in a Sports Quack state, just go to either sportsquack.online or just download the app and put in Player Props, one word, no spaces, Player Props. And because of our exclusive partnership with them, we're going to they're going to have $25 in your account, and you don't even have to deposit to get that. So if you got this far, go check the app, and if you're one of the states, use Player Props and get that stuff. But yeah, sportsquack.online. So that's the gist. If you go to profile here, the only other thing I want to mention is we have synced this to our Discord. See the little Sports Quack banner there. So what you want to do, first off, if you don't have a Discord account, you want to click Discord here and create an account. Download the app, create an account. That's where thousands and tens of thousands of people of this community are already in, talking every single day. You know, how are you using the app today? What are we looking at? Did anybody notice anything sexy on the app? All that good stuff, right? Once you have a Discord account, click here first, this Discord button, to get into our Discord server. After you get in, what you want to do next is you want to come back to PlayerProps.ai. You want to click on Profile, and this will say Connect Discord. You click on Connect Discord, it'll ask you to log in again, and then what it does is it'll open up all the channels for you. So if you want to see all of the channels available to you, you have to have your Discord synced. Otherwise, that's the easiest way for us to keep out spam. And if you don't know anything about the internet, there's a lot of spam out there. So that's the easiest way to keep out spam. All you want to do is get access to it, just create a free account, sync your Discord, boom, you have access to the free Discord as well. Now, that is the gist of the open beta. Again, if you want to provide feedback, we greatly appreciate it. That's the entire purpose of us making this free for you guys for almost an entire month, if not an entire month. Just click on provide feedback. A little form will pop up. It'll say, hey, let us know, if you have screenshots, if you record your screen, any of that stuff, let us know in the provide feedback spot. And yeah, we're very excited. So make sure you guys join the Discord. If you have any questions, you can let me know, whether it is in the feedback side of thing or it's easier to hit me up in Discord if you have questions. But that's the open beta. We thank you guys for joining us for it, and we're excited about our launch date here. I'm recording this on March 1st, so our launch day, of course, is 28 days away. March 28th, opening day. We'll see you guys then. Thanks.